Good afternoon, class. Welcome to my English class. So, English enthusiasts, today you are not my students because you are detectives who need to investigate a murder crime. So, let's start. So, here is the scenario. A murder crime happened at the Evans residence last night, and you need to investigate the crime scene to look for evidences. So, upon your investigation, you saw the following evidences. So, for the first evidence, who wants to answer? Any volunteer? Detective Gab, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Can you repeat the question po?
What have you seen in the crime scene?
I saw that someone got killed.
What object did you see in the crime scene?
I saw a bloody knife.
Yes, a knife. So for evidence number 2, what did you see? Any volunteer?
Ma'am,
Yes, Detective Tolentino.
it's a rope po.
Yes, a rope. Okay. For evidence number 3, any volunteer?
Tolentino po.
Yes, Detective Tolentino.
I think the killer opened the vault.
Yes, a vault. So for evidence number 4,
Ma'am Javier po.
yes, Detective Javier.
It's a cell phone calling 911.
Yes, you saw a phone. So upon your investigation, is the killer a man or a woman?
I think it's a man po.
Yes, it's a man. So now you know the gender of our killer. So now let's try to analyze what might have happened in the crime scene last night. So what you're going to do is to make an investigation report or construct a sentence based on the evidences you saw in the crime scene. So here is the instruction. Assume that you need to provide a report based on your investigation in the crime scene. Use the provided pictures and construct a sentence. So now I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think of a sentences about what you see in the crime scene. So I guess you're done. So who wants to go first?
Tolentino, ma'am.
Yes, Detective Tolentino, what is your report?
Because we saw a bloody knife, I think the killer stabbed the victim.
The killer
The killer stabbed the victim.
the victim. Okay, thank you. So who wants to go next?
Ma'am Javier po.
Yes, Detective Javier.
He tied the victim on a chair.
He tied
The
the
victim on a chair.
victim on a chair. Okay, thank you. So who wants to answer the third column? The third row rather.
Valentina, ma'am.
Yes, Detective Tolentino.
The killer opened the vault.
The killer opened the vault. Okay. So for the last report, who wants to add their report?
Javier po.
Yes, Detective Javier.
The victim tried to call the police.
The victim tried to call the police. Okay, detectives, you did a great job. So now our case is solved. So let's move on to the next part. So as you can see, the sentences here are the sentences that you provided earlier. So anyone who wants to volunteer to read the words in the second column?
Valentina, ma'am.
Yes, Miss Tolentino.
Stabbed, tied, opened, and tried.
Okay. So are the words in past tense, present tense, or future tense?
Past tense, ma'am.
Yes, past tense. So are the verbs regular or irregular verbs? Any
Regular
volunteers?
verbs.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's a regular verb. So what makes our sample verbs a regular verb? Anyone who wants to answer?
Ma'am Javier.
Yes, Mr. Javier.
Regular regular verbs form their past and past participle forms by adding D, ED, or IED, ma'am. Meanwhile, irregular verbs form their past and past participle forms in different ways po.
Okay, very good. So here, as you can see, I put the base form of the verbs in the second column. So what you need to do is to change it back to past simple form. So is there anyone who wants to answer? Any volunteer?
Valentina, ma'am.
Yes, Miss Talentino.
So for the killer stabbed the victim, we just add ed, so stabbed.
So according to the rule, if the consonant is followed by a vowel and followed by another consonant, we must double the final consonant and then add ed. Okay, so let's move to the second sentence. Who wants to answer?
Ma'am Javier po.
Yes, Mr. Javier.
We add the consonant D to form the word tied.
Okay, very good. So for the third sentence, who wants to answer?
Valentina, ma'am.
Yes, Miss Talentino.
We are just going to add ed, so open.
Okay, very good. So for our last sentence,
Ma'am Javier po.
yes, Mr. Javier.
We replace the Y with an I and then add ED. So we
Okay,
have TRIED, tried.
very good. So now let's move on to your activity. So what you're going to do is to construct a sentence using the simple past tense of regular verbs. And you need to think of a classroom scenario based on the following pictures. So if you want to answer, kindly unmute your microphone and state your surname.
Ma'am Javier.
Yes, Mr. Javier.
She studied her notes po.
Okay, very good. For the another picture. Who wants to share their answer to the class? Miss Bernal, are you there?
Her audio isn't working po, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So, other volunteer.
Valentino, ma'am.
Yes, Miss Valentino.
Her classmate borrowed her calculator.
Okay, very good. So let's go to the next slide.
Javier po, ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Javier.
She dropped the pen. She dropped the pen.
Okay, very good. So for our another picture.
Valentino, ma'am.
Yes, Miss Valentino.
She used a ruler for her drawing.
Okay, very good. So that is the last part of our discussion. So thank you very much and see you next meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.